How's it going, everyone? Shifty here, and I'm back with another Destiny 2 video. Today I continue my series of PvP exotic reviews, and last time I talked about the Suros Regime, and this time I'm moving on to the Monte Carlo, an exotic auto rifle that was added alongside the Shadowkeep expansion and Season of Undying. In this series I've covered all of the exotic pulse rifles so far, and I'm currently working through the exotic auto rifles. If you want to check out any of the pulse rifle videos or the Suros Regime video I've done, I'll leave a link in the description to the playlist that contains them all. Before I get into my quick review of the Monte Carlo, if you end up enjoying this video or finding it useful in any way, make sure to like and subscribe. I'm getting really close to 100 subs, so any support is really appreciated. Anyway, let's talk about the Monte Carlo. If you don't already have it, you can acquire it via World Exotic Drops or Exotic Engrams. Make sure you're picking up the one exotic engram you can buy from Xur each week to round out your exotic arsenal. Before I tried Monte Carlo, I didn't know if I was going to like it or not, but the first match I played with it, I was able to snag 27 kills with just the Monte Carlo alone. So make sure to stick around for highlights from that match and more. Now let's go over the perks real quick. The first perk we have here is Fluted Barrel, which greatly increases your handling and slightly increases stability. Then you have the high caliber rounds, which helps flinch opponents and gives you a little bit more range. Then we have the first unique perk, Markov Chain, which increases this weapon's damage with melee kills and other kills from this weapon. Also, melee kills grant ammo to this weapon. It's essentially Swashbuckler with a little bit of an added bonus. Then we have Composite Stock for a bit of stability and handling. Then the main exotic perk, Monte Carlo Method. Dealing damage with this weapon reduces your melee cooldown and grants a chance to fully charge your melee ability with each kill. Alright, if you're ever trying to make a build revolving around melees, this is an excellent gun to pair with it. Using any variant of Shoulder Charge Titan, use Monte Carlo. Want even more ranged melees on your Warlock? Use Monte Carlo. Want to spam smoke melees on a Hunter? Monte Carlo. You can see it definitely has a place in some builds, but a gun still has to be usable in PvP to make a viable build. Let's get into the details of the gun. The damage profile of the Monte Carlo matches that of other 600 RPM auto rifles, so it hits 25 per crit and 16 to the body. This gives it an optimal time to kill of 0.7 seconds with 7 crits and 1 body shot, and an all body shot time to kill of 1.2 seconds, which takes 13 body shots. Don't forget though that this weapon gets a damage increase with each kill up to 5 stacks, similar to Swashbuckler, so there is potential to reduce the time to kill for subsequent kills. Aside from that, the other stats on the weapon aren't amazing by any means, with a few that are not great, such as the 51 range stat and the 50 aim assist, but don't let that deter you from trying this out. Let's move on to some things that I like about the weapon. I like that the weapon is really useful for some builds, but holds its own outside of the melee build niche. Even if you don't build for it, having a charged melee can be useful in a lot of circumstances, like for any ranged melees, or the slightly stronger Nova Warp melee. I also like it because it's inherently a decent weapon because it's a 600 RPM auto rifle and it has 43 rounds in the magazine, which allows you to take advantage of the Markov Chain perk before reloading. While it doesn't have the best stability or the best aim assist, and the recoil direction isn't as vertical as Hardlight or the Suros with the Catalyst, it still feels like a great gun to use. I honestly have a hard time coming up with complaints with this weapon. I could say that the Monte Carlo method being RNG is an issue, but it seems to happen so often that it doesn't really strike me as a problem. One thing I guess I did notice is that sometimes it felt like I could nail all the headshots on an enemy, and sometimes I couldn't hit anything but body shots, and maybe that's due to the low aim assist, or maybe I'm just bad at aiming sometimes. As for comparing the Suros Regime and the Monte Carlo, I think I'd rather play with the Monte Carlo. The gun just felt better to use when I compared my play sessions with each. I know this doesn't make tons of sense stat-wise, but I do also prefer the straight damage increase that Monte gets, whereas Suros gets a rate of fire increase, which can be rough on the ammo economy for the weapon. And not only that, but it already has the smallest mag size of the 600 RPM exotic auto rifles. Also, the RNG for Monte Carlo is much better than the RNG healing for the Suros Regime. With that said, I had a great time playing with Suros, and in my video covering that, I said I would recommend it to anyone for casual play, and I also said it would fare well in competitive environments in the right hands. Since I prefer Monte Carlo, it's in the same boat. I think this is a great weapon for anyone in casual play, but if your aiming and tracking isn't great, maybe choose something else for trials or competitive playlists. Anyway, I've got some more auto rifles to use and I've already got some footage for some of them, and I get the feeling I already covered the best of the exotic auto rifles, but we'll just have to wait and see. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you do, consider subscribing so you can check out my future videos in this series. Also, if you've been liking my content, make sure to hit that like button. I just want to thank you all for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.
That's a power play. You took them, now hold them. Together as one. I love it. I cook. Zone advantage